As you can tell, my reports are well founded in research, and this report again demonstrates a bit of research really does show up some shocking surprises at times. Take South Australia's sardine fishery as a prime example. This one has obviously been flying secretly under the radar. This state's sardine fishery is Australia's largest volume fishery, netting 38,000 tonnes in 2015. The next biggest was about 4,000 tonnes for snapper, King George whiting, crabs and squid. So this fishery dwarfs all others for the take of a species. South Australia produces approximately 90% of Australia's sardines. The primary market for South Australian sardine production is not directly as human food, but as food stock for aquaculture, the tuna pens at Port Lincoln. They return just 58 cents a kilogram. But here's a real kicker. Australia imports over $40 million worth of processed sardines a year, with a traded price of just over $7 a kilo. Can you work that out? I surely can't understand that. We net great quality sardines in Spencer Gulf, the major source of production, and sell it for 58 cents a kilogram. But import sardines from the United States costing us $7 a kilogram. That's great fisheries management, Pirsa. So why aren't our sardines available to our domestic market? Well, if you herded great schools of tuna from the open oceans by dropping a pen net around them and towing them back to Port Lincoln for fattening up, you'd want a very cheap source of food for them. Enter the humble South Australian sardine. If you have a look where they're caught, there's hardly any transport costs involved. As you can see, the catch is from the mid to lower Spencer Gulf. Now that's a lot of tonnage to net from the one area. According to Pirsa, per seine nets used for sardines must not exceed 1,000 metres in length or 200 metres depth. There are currently 14 licence holders, with several companies operating multiple licences. Remember, they operate in the main in mid to lower Spencer Gulf, in the same region that Pirsa has put a closed season on King George whiting fishing. Another great decision from Pirsa. This organisation should market itself as a baby rattle. But what do these sardine fishermen actually put back into the state? Is there a resource rent tax on them, taking such huge quantities of a community resource that recreational fishers can't access? I think not. What a travesty for this state. If the government is so keen to get manufacturing industries up and running, why not a facility for processing our sardines? 38,000 tonnes processed and sold at the same price as the imported American product could net a $266 million windfall for this state, instead of a $22 million industry providing snacks for tuna. Don't you think that's crying out for attention? What about drawing on a community-owned fish resource to benefit the community? Oh, silly me. Taking actions that match the rhetoric about sustainable local fisheries isn't part of the fisheries management psyche in this state.